Good evening, listeners, brave navigators of the enigmatic and the concealed. Have you ever felt the pull of the unanswered, the allure of the mysteries that shroud our existence? For more than a decade, a unique comic publisher has dared to dive into these mysteries, unafraid of the secrets they might uncover. This audacious entity is Paranoid American. Welcome to the mystifying universe of the Paranoid American podcast.
Launched in the year 2012, Paranoid American has been on a mission to decipher the encrypted secrets of our world. From the unnerving enigma of MK Ultra mind control to the clandestine assemblies of secret societies. From the awe-inspiring frontiers of forbidden technology to the arcane patterns of occult symbols in our very own pop culture. They have committed to unveiling the concealed realities that lie just beneath the surface. Join us as we navigate these intricate landscapes, decoding the hidden scripts of our society and challenging the accepted perceptions of reality.
Folks, I've got a big problem on my hands. There's a company called Paranoid American making all these funny memes and comics. Now, I'm a fair guy. I believe in free speech as long as it doesn't cross the line. And if these AI-generated memes dare to make fun of me, they're crossing the line.
This is your expedition into the realm of the extraordinary, the secret, the shrouded. Come with us as we sift through the world's grand mysteries, question the standardized narratives, and brave the cryptic labyrinth of the concealed truth. So strap yourselves in, broaden your horizons, and steel yourselves for a voyage into the enigmatic heart of the Paranoid American podcast, where each story, every image, every revelation brings us one step closer to the elusive truth.
Hey, welcome back to the neighborhood. Today we've got a new special guest, way overdue, one of the Secret Society of Good Guys members, Layla the Godpill Angel, 33. Welcome aboard.
Hello. How's it going out there? How are you?
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Chilling, just a relaxed day. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing an interview today. I'm so excited, but nervous as hell, but not at the same time.
What
I have no idea because my first ever interview, it's like, ooh, this is
the first, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been anyone's first in a while.
You popped my cherry.
I think we're just passing the baton because Cheney popped mine. So I'm just passing it back. We're just volleying it back and forth, maybe.
I love it.
Before we even get started, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram, GodpillAngel33 or GodpillAngel333. I just have backup accounts because I tend to get shadow banned a lot. So if one gets shadow banned, I just hop on the other. If that one gets shadow banned, then I hop back on the other. So it's like a dance between two algorithms, I guess.
What do you think you're doing to get yourself shadow banned? Anything in particular?
Well, it's mainly about the thing that we all experienced back in 2020. Just mainly the jibbity jabbity juices, the hocus pocus potions.
They love when you talk about it. I've found that out a few times.
Yeah. I mean, I like to go deep into what that magic is behind the whole schmack schmeans. I don't know how else to call them.
You can call them whatever you want. If it gets real spicy, if YouTube, out of anyone, I don't care, but if YouTube starts slapping my hand, I'm just gonna put a little picture of my homeboy. Oh, I don't even know where he went. Oh, here he is. Instead of even saying it, I'll just pop him over your mouth. And then he'll go back away, and there'll just be a cool little noise that he makes. Maybe
Mr.
I don't know. I don't even know if we can say his name. That's how.
Oh,
it's
really?
almost like the ineffable name of God at this point. You can't say their names; they have too much power over us. You can't say them out loud.
How would I say it in Albanian? The way we would pronounce it, Fauci.
The AI can translate Albanian.
Fucking A. Okay. Let me shut the hell up.
Workarounds. There used to be so many workarounds. I thought that making it into a song was a workaround because usually the songs could sort of like Juxon, like, juke out the detection algorithms, and now they just eat it up, and they're like, oh, you're saying something we don't like.
Yeah,
And I fuck with you people.
Yeah, I also used to slow down or speed up my videos so it wouldn't pick up the, just normal tone of a voice. So that used to trick the algorithm before, but they found that out as well. So it's like, sucks for us.
I think that might still work for copyright material.
Yeah.
And if you put like music on, I know Donut a lot, shout out Donut, where
Hey,
he'll
Donut.
slow something way down, but then he also throws some music on top of it, which might, again, throw it off, or it might just be transformative enough to not throw the copyright. But no matter if it's copyright or not, if they're saying something about the cowpoke, then they'll still hit you for it. So
yeah, that's crazy.
we're off to a great start. We're already talking about some very monetizable things. I'm sure Burger King and Coca-Cola are jumping to get on the advertisement board. So
yeah. Well, what I'm passionate about is like, because no one knows this, you're born into this realm and you're told to do things, just go by a script, yada, la di da, like just enjoying life. And then they tell you to inoculate your babies, as soon as they're born, healthy newborns with what? Like with what? With things that I would never drink or want to put into my body. So just because a man in a white freaking coat tells me that, hey, this is good for you, should I really put that into my body because he said I should put it into my body? Like,
I mean, he might have gone to school for 6 whole years though. So who are you to take your millions of years or thousands of years, depending on where you're at?
Do you know what I think about school? Do you know what I think about school? This is what I think about school. School is like, okay, how do I program onto the highest level of program? It's like they feed you the basics of like, hey, you and your imagination is wrong. You and your knowing and your questioning is wrong. I would sit in classrooms as a kid and they would tell me something. I'm like, man, this don't make sense. I feel like this is a lie. And we had that intuition as kids. We knew when the teachers were fucking lying to us. But no, that's not it. Scientists said it was this way, or scientists said it was this way. And we sit there and we take it in. So to me, you could have a PhD and like fully be indoctrinated to the core. So it's like levels of bullshit upon bullshit upon bullshit that they want you to, I guess, program into yourself so you can go along with what they want to feed us. It's like a huge, massive fucking spell. I see like the grand scheme of it all. And I know how I sound out there. I sound fucking insane to people. But if you
we haven't even got started. This isn't even the insane part.
Oh, no, I know. So like when they say, oh, but the doctor said, and he has a PhD, I say, well, I'll take his PhD and wipe my ass with it because this is what I know. Like literally, like you don't need to have a PhD to be a philosopher, to ask the real questions. When you know you're being fooled deep down in the core. And that's what being a philosopher is when you know you're being lied to, you want to get to the root of it.
How did you do in school?
I was great up until high school. I grew up in a very like sheltered life. I wasn't allowed to like really go out or have friends or like have friends that weren't Albanian. By the way, I'm Albanian. So those of you who know, Albanians are like a little crazy and we grow up a little different than Americans. So when high school hit, I kind of found freedom. So like I would hang out with my friends.
High school?
Yeah. 9th grade high school. I didn't care for school. Like I just knew it wasn't for me. I did well, like the indoctrination part of it, but it was just, I did
like
not
A's
like
well
it.
Or C's well?
I would say B's and C's.
Okay.
B's and C's. Yeah. I wasn't like a genius, but I knew my shit. I don't know if
you're playing along with the program. I don't think you have to be a genius to get A's. You just got to know how to just shut up. Just shut up and write it down and spit it back out in a week from then, and you're good. You're golden.
How to be the best copycat. That's how I see it. That's how I see most of reality. It's like everyone regurgitating everything and everything. It's like everyone is a copycat of something. So Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if this will make a good or a bad teacher, but I feel like if I saw someone cheating, if they were doing it like sly, like I'm letting them get away 100% of the time. Cause you're like, I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, like, you understand how the world really works. Like, good on
Yeah.
you. You get an A today. Like, and they make them think they're getting away with it, but it's just like, you've earned that one.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I did a good job copycatting. I'm such a good student. Like, oh my God, I see it. I will never send my kids to school. I will never do it. I will find their niche. Like, I will see, create an independency where they can learn the basics of survival, like cooking, whether it's a boy or a girl, learning how to do their own clothes, learning how to be independent individuals, then getting different setups if they want to be, archaeologist, or if they want to be something that is good for the mind, body, or soul, like music, pottery, something to create, something that'll be good, whether if they want to learn botany, plants, because I would learn with my children too, if I ever have kids. I don't know if I'm on that side yet, but we'll see. But if I were to do that, I would do my best to learn or teach them the basics of survival skills so they can find their niche and continue with it. They don't have to be a doctor.
How are Americans different than Albanians?
Oh, okay. So there's different types of Albanians. Okay, I would class them into two. There's the ones who live in villages and the ones who live in the cities. The ones who live in the cities have more of a modern take on the world, so they do things a little more modern. Not like
how different are we talking? Are we just talking about like rednecks versus city slickers, or is it way different?
It's like country. Yeah, country versus city. So it's like in the country, they have their farms, they have their sheeps, they have, they have their thing. And in the city, you have your mafias, you have your gang members, you have your business owners, then you have your people. I don't know how they survive there, honestly. It's crazy how they survive there because they only make like maybe tops 800 euros a month. And I'm
totally ignorant on this, but like, are we talking like if you're out in the village, right? If you're an Albanian redneck, I guess, is that running water, electricity, everything? You just happen to be rural?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they have electricity. They have all that. It's not like Amish living. They used to be very Amish living, but now it's like a little more modernized just to make it easier for them. But so I would say the village people hold on more to the traditions, and the traditions stem either religious, either they're Muslim Albanian or they're Catholic Albanian. So it could stem from that, or it could stem from the Kanun. And it's like a whole law book from Lek Dugagini. If you guys want to look into it, it's sick. It's like
I've never heard of any of this before.
So it's like you probably did the Kanun. Other places, I think in Asia, they have this whole idea about the Kanun and like blood wars or blood feuds or family feuds, and how to it's like a how-to for a village instead of a government. So like if there's something going on in your village, let's say, because a village will be an entire last name. Okay. And we're all related. So you have maybe 1,500 members in this village, and that's like your small little army. And it's that last
like
name.
1,500 Christmas presents and birthday presents?
Maybe. I think they do. I wasn't raised there. I was born there. I was born in Macedonia, in Skopje. So I don't know really how they live their lives out there. But the way I lived my life out here, we brought our roots. And living in America is just like a strange fucking thing to do. But anyway, where was I going at?
Well, you're talking about how the villages all have like a single last name. So each village is like a family.
Yeah. So let's say two families have a conflict. Okay. The head of the town, or the elder of the town, the oldest man, and the oldest woman will come. They'll sit the two families up. What's going on? Why are you guys pissed off?
Is this elected or anything? Or is it just if you're the oldest person, you just automatically?
Yeah, it's like wisdom. They've been through the experience.
What if you're dumb? What if you're really old, but you're also really dumb? Do they just skip over you?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I haven't read the entire Kanun, but it's very interesting. It has laws on marriage, laws on feuds. I mean, like literally everything. That's why I want to get this book and get it translated so I can like do like a cool like video on it because it's
that'd be awesome.
freaking,
Okay,
yeah,
so you're
it's
saying
freaking
that
sick.
if like two people in a village have a feud, they go to the elder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or the elder calls upon them because the rumors will spread, and they'll say, no. You want to fight? Okay, we can make you two fight, or you can shake hands. How do you guys want to go about it? What's the problem? They'll talk it out. Oh, is that what you're freaking pissed off
Sounds like
about?
a little league game.
Well, that's the best way to do it. Like everyone's running their like households. Everyone has their like farms, their little farms. They have weddings that for the whole town, parties for the whole town. Everyone gets together at night, has tea. The kids are all playing in the street. Everyone's kids are your kids. Like it's that group mentality where you don't need a fucking government to tell you how to live. And we have this thing called Besa. It's we people like are an ancient people that come from Indo-European times, from the Thracians, and this is Greek people. This is like that whole area. Our roots stem from this: the Illyrians, Baldicians, the Thracians, the Tropoians, the Hellenics. It's all in that. Even in Rome, we have our British that are in Rome, and a lot of this culture and history that we do have is from Albanian like writers and philosophers, and I'm just finding all this stuff out. So it's going to be a lot of content that I'm going to produce soon about this, so I can like teach everyone. I guess I don't know.
Do you have a bunch of
I
Albanian
teach myself
followers?
too. No. And I like that right now because Albanian people could be very judgmental and freaking harsh and shit talking and I'm not lying. You all know that. Like, if you're watching, you fucking know that. Like, they
Shots fired to Albania.
For real. I love my people, but I also want to talk about the topics that Albanians don't want to talk about.
Are there any Albanian slurs? Like, what's a bad word to call an Albanian?
Well, there is a term that they call Albanians, like they call the Irish the N-word of Europe.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't want to say the word.
The Albanian version?
Yeah. Well, no. That's what they call us. Okay. So that's what they consider us.
Okay. You don't have your own word then. They repurpose an existing horrible word and use it for you?
I don't think so. They call us sheephead. They don't like really diss us because they're kind of afraid. Like, oh my God, don't fuck with the Albanians. They'll fucking come in like an army and just like tear your shit up, and they will. Like, it's just a phone call away. Hey, cuz, I mean, bats, chainsaws, like all types of crazy fucking artillery. They're nuts.
It's funny how quickly we went from like this beautiful village that's raising children together in harmony, and we all have the last name.
Back
and then
home.
It's like, and we'll bust out the chainsaws.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, so it goes back to Besa. Okay, it's like my word. My word is my bond. Like, we have a culture that is for that. Like, if you don't give your word, like you go against your word, like you're a pussy, like you're a bitch. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not Besa. Like, no one's going to believe a word that comes out of your mouth. Once you lose that base, it's done. You see, I'm even doing it like the Albanian way.
It seems almost Italian.
Well, it's right there. I'm telling you, it's right there. We have the same history: the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, ancient Greek. You can't even call it ancient Greek because it was called Graecia, and it wasn't Greece. It's a whole different thing. It was Helena back before Greece was even a thing. Back before Graecia was even a thing. So it's like you can't even call it ancient Greek. You can't. I can't call it ancient Albania because it's not that. It's a kingdom of tribes or a kingdom of kingdoms. Put it that way. Like each tribe had its own kingdom, and it was a kingdom full of kingdoms.
And so in a kingdom full of kingdoms, I'm just imagining, like, if 20 of those kingdoms within the kingdom are like mafioso style families. Like they've got the chainsaws and the bats, but then you've got a family that's just like, we just want to make shoes. And then maybe they like accidentally, or their horse like tramples one of the mafiosos, like something totally innocent that no one meant to happen. And it's like a good, but I just imagine that's sort of a world where it's like, fuck the government. We've got our own thing in their own thing. In that kingdom, it's like the mafiosos are murdering that family because their horse maybe trampled their kid on accident. No? Or am I being judgmental?
Well, it wasn't mafioso back in the day. The mafia kind of started like nowish, more modern, because I don't know how to explain it. Like ever since democracy came in, like democracy and NATO and all this, that's when mafia started, because we didn't believe in this shit. Like we didn't believe in trafficking or drugs we were like a righteous people that drugs, we're going to beat the living fucking shit out of you. Are you kidding? Oh, the trauma is real. We are hard people. Like, let me tell you, like the look of an Albanian elder, if they look at you in the eye, that's all you fucking need. They give you this look that
I'll look at an Albanian elder. I don't give a fuck, dude. As long as I'm not in Albania with like his family, with the chains and the bats behind them, you can grill me all day. I don't care.
I don't know how to explain it. If you guys ever go to Albania and you meet an elder, you'll see.
Not in Albania. I feel like that's it hits different.
Here, what are they gonna do? Like, where are they gonna get their posse? Like, really? Like their 10 cousins, maybe 20 cousins.
Because that's not it. It's not the elder's look that has anything to do with it. It's the implication that if you offend the elder, then you might have 1,500 people with the elder's last name on your ass.
Ooh, oh my God, you don't even know.
Isn't this just like Afghanistan? This sounds like Afghanistan, no? It sounds like going and offending some local warlord, and then the whole village is after your ass.
It's not even like an offend. It's like why are you disrespecting the elder when they're teaching you something? Because the elders aren't looking for trouble. They're not the trouble. They're not looking for trouble. They're always trying to make peace. That's why their wisdom is needed. So when you have like a little pidgin mush coming out of nowhere, what do you know? Like, what the fuck do you know? You just started life, my friend. I have lived life. I am 90 years old and I can tell you A through Z, the spectrum of knowledge that I can feed you. And they're very wise men. Now it's just a different world. So now you have your mafias. I would say my dad's family is somehow connected in that. And they say no, but it is, because it's like political. It's all tied with politics now and who votes and which way. So it's like people do jobs, if you know what I'm saying, jobs, for the government to clear.
Talking like DoorDash, right?
Yeah, like knock knock, hey, bye, like thank you, bye, that kind of like, yeah, or they'll kidnap if they know you have money and you owe them money and you're not paying them, they will kidnap your child and like cut their head off and leave it on your doorstep if you don't give them money.
This time of year, you're selling it. I feel like maybe we should start booking vacations over there.
Dude, Albania is fucking awesome.
If you don't get your head cut off.
Well, it's not dangerous. I'm telling you, if you go there, they're not looking to like kill people. No. The mafia is like, they do their things with the little clans that they have there. It's like amongst each other. It's like,
what kind of thing? If you were in America, let's just say you're like a naive American that's just on vacation, and someone was like, "Oh, you should check out this city in Albania," whatever. What are the kind of things that you might accidentally do to get yourself killed?
Nothing. I'm
really.
I
mean, I know what it would be in Florida.
I mean, don't rape their women. Like don't be American with women out there, because Albanian women.
What does that mean? What does don't be American with women?
Like don't be American with Albanian women. Albanian women are fucking tigers. They're lions. Okay, they don't cougars? Tolerate a lot, huh?
Are they cougars?
No. They're like spicy. Like they will attack. You do something like okay. American men are when they get a certain level, they're very touchy, very feely, very, no respect. They don't do things that a man's supposed to do, like pay for everything, pull a chair out, pick her up. Like, very, I'm not fighting for you. Men, Albanian men, how they go after a woman, it's like, no, put your fucking wallet away. I'm picking you up. This is where we're going. It's like they take care of their women, and the women always feel safe around them. It's like a
That
lot of
almost
real.
sounds aggressive to American standards, because I now imagine
It
an
is.
Albanian guy coming on a
It
first
is.
date and being like, "Put your money away. I'm paying
Well,
for
not
this.
in that
I'm opening the
sense.
door."
Not in that sense, but it's like, really, you think I can't pay for you? It's like, that's like,
Well,
they
it's
get
just
their
like,
pride
really,
gets
really,
the
guys,
pride gets
like
hurt.
50
Yeah.
years ago, maybe. You know what I mean?
No, that they really. I like this standard. I personally like this standard. It's because I want to treat who I'm with like a king, and that's how I'm going to treat him. And if he's not treating me like a queen, why should I even bother? Like, why should I even, like, that's how it is. Like, if I see my man come home from work, he's tired, I'm going to take his shoes off. I'm going to rub his feet if he's really tired, because I know that he is treating me like a fucking queen. And that's how they do it. Like, back in the day, the Albanian man and the Albanian woman in the household was king and queen, like literally. And they treated one another like king and queen. Like, the woman even learned how to fucking fight, like warrior status. Like, they say the Vikings, but I'm sorry, Vikings. There's a lot of history you guys don't know yet that you will be awoken to. So we'll get there, baby steps. Baby steps.
Well, did the Albanians were more powerful than the Vikings?
No, there's a whole history about Albania, not Albania, but the language that uncovers a lot of secret wording that I'm finding out and I'm discovering. They say Greek, 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 but I'm finding out it's not Greek. And just in simple terms, like, for instance, just an example, my favorite, Aphrodita or Aphrodite. When you say it in Albanian, it's Aphrodita, which means closest to the sun or closest to the day. And what is closest to the day, or what star is closest to the day, that's Venus. But when you get the translation of Greek for what Aphrodite means, it means beauty. And I'm just like, what? Why does my translation have a clear description of what Venus is instead of the Greek word? And I'm finding this out more and more and more throughout my just playing with words in my head. And like, oh, I'm having like almost orgasmic, like, oh my God moments. Holy shit. This is like, I'm blowing my own mind with the information I'm finding out. And I'm just like, it just, I don't know. I love it. It just gets
Is there
me excited.
anyone else doing this? Or are you just finding all your own discoveries?
There are people who are doing this overseas. I think there's maybe a couple people on TikTok who are exposing like the truth that has been hidden, but I don't know if they're doing etymology yet. And the shit that I'm finding and writing down is like blowing my mind. Like Nephilim, like the Nephilim were the first people, correct? Supposedly the first civilization.
Or the offspring of the Watchers and the humans. So they were the first hybrids things. I don't know. I don't know what the hell the Nephilim were outside of the offspring of like angels and people.
I'll tell you, the word literally means in the beginning or the first. Like, it's the opening sentence of the Bible, Nephilim, like in the beginning, Nephilim. That's what it legit means. And I'm like, how did I not hear this before? Like, I'm over here saying Nephilim, Nephilim, Nephilim. And I'm like, why does it sound like Nephilim?
You just said it 3 times in a row. So you might want to check your house now. You might have actually summoned one.
You know what? It's okay. They're probably my ancestors. Who fucking knows? From the language that I speak, and the word thoth and the creator of languages literally means word or thought. Thought. It's like has spoken. That's what it literally means. And I'm like, thoth is the creator of language. How is that word like literally mean like the spoken word. And then philosophy. I'm like, okay, philosophia. Philosophia literally means hidden symbology.
Really?
Where I'm from. Yeah. And I'm just like, or planted symbology, like hidden, covered. Hidden, covered. I'm just like blowing my own mind. You see, I'm like a little girl. I'm just like,
because I've heard philosophy, at least the translation between English Latin is philo, love of, sophia, knowledge. So philosophy is kind of like the love of knowledge.
Yeah, this is like the hidden symbology of it all, and that's what philosophy is. All the secrets that you need are in the symbols. It's in the symbology. And that's what I'm discovering with my language.
Is there an Albanian Illuminati?
I think the Albanians were the first Illuminists. I'm not, because I'm from Albania, and I'm not even going to say Albanians. What do I call them? I'm going to call them the Illyrians. Let's just call it that, because that's where Illyrians or the Epirots or Epirus. Epirus, Epirots. Okay. Yeah, that's the whole tribe, like ancient, like I'm talking about 6 BC, 8. No, way more than that. I'm saying it wrong.
Epirus or whatever they call them.
I forgot what period they're from, like way back. But anyway, so yeah.
What do you think there's a modern version of the Illuminati? And it's like every country, I think, kind of has them. We might not know of all of them, but the regular Illuminati was Bavaria, right? But then in the United States, we've got Bohemian Grove and Skull and Bones and all these kind of secret quasi-intelligence agencies. Israel's got Mossad. Everyone kind of has the MI5 and MI6 as the UK. Do you know of any of these within Albania?
I know they have. I haven't gone down that path yet because I want to get there in baby steps. I don't want to start there. I want to start like actually at the roots. But from what I understand, where we're located on the map, it's like literally the center of the map. And we have a place called Nishi where the first apple tree was. And I also have a map where the Garden of Eden is actually in Bulgaria, like on this clear as day. And I'm like, was this the actual fucking holy place? Like, are they lying to something about us? Because where that place is located, the trade that happened through there, through Africa, through Russia, through all parts of that region, went through there. So it's like they all came there through that middle section, just passing by us, la-di-da. I'm like, maybe they took our knowledge and kept it for themselves because they were that kind of people. They were such people, such welcoming, humble people. That's why I say don't be afraid to go to Albania. Like you're American? Yay, America, we love you. They fucking love Americans.
Stay away from our women. We love you. You touch me.
They love Bill Clinton. I don't, but they love Bill Clinton. Like they love America. They're like that asleep.
What about Trump? Still. Do they have a particular feeling about Trump?
There's two sides of Trump. There's the Albanians who love Trump, who are from America because they know the shit. And then there's the ones overseas. They're like, I don't know, Trumpy. I don't know, Trumpy? Maybe. Trumpy, yeah, Trumpy. That's what they call it.
Does that translate to anything?
Through. I don't know. Through. I have to check.
Like even in English, Trump, as in like the Trump card, is one of the popular ones. But also Trump came from, I believe, the word triumph. And triumph was basically a parade that you would go and put on for yourself to make yourself feel special, which kind of seems like a very Trump thing to do.
Yeah, very Trumpy. Very Trumpy. I have to look into it. I have like my own way. I have to get the like Indo-European alphabet and find what that actual letter means, and then go into the next stage into the Greek and see what that means and see if I can find the connection there, and then go into the English and then break it down. It's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. It's like I'm uncovering or discovering like this awesome puzzle. And I'm just putting the pieces together.
Are you familiar with any Albanian folk magic or like folklore?
Oh yeah.
Are there any, like,
Kushedra,
anything like really creepy or over the top strange?
Kushedra the dragon. We have a whole story on that. I don't know if I remember detail to detail, but Kushedra the dragon was a good dragon in a sense. Like if the village needed water, I'm not going to say good. They're a bull dragon. It's a bull dragon. And
Like a bull, like Taurus bull.
well, they called it a bull. Okay, they had the bull dragon and the Kushedra dragon. So there was two types of versions of dragon.
You're saying
that they
bull,
had.
right? Like the animal, a bull.
Boll, bull.
Oh, Boll.
Like the serpent bull.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the type of dragon: the bull serpent, the bull dragon, and the Kushedra dragon. So the Kushedra, I don't know if you ever seen the image of that angel, like kind of like slaughtering the dragon with his spear. With Saint,
Yeah,
I forgot what
Saint George,
yes.
And then also depending on which religion you're in, sometimes they show Michael, the archangels, with this huge flaming sword.
We also have that in our symbology as well. So the whole idea of Kushedra, she would be the one to give the waters to the people if they ever went through a drought or whatever. But the only way that Kushedra would do that if she had sacrifice done in her name. Apparently, this is the story. So,
like, can I just pour one out for her, or is she asking for more than that?
Some people gladly gave their children up to this dragon just to help the entire community, like a sacrifice.
Do you think that anyone ever did that because like their kid was just like a dick, and they were like,
probably it's like
we'll trade him for some water
and get the fuck out of here.
Do you think that matters? Do you think to the dragon it would matter? They were like, you just gave me your the asshole child. Like I wanted the good one.
No, I don't think so. It's like blood is blood. Yeah. But again, these are stories. Can I confirm this? I don't know. Did they find a skeleton of a dragon? They probably did and hid it. Why would they tell us? They want us to believe in dinosaurs. Like really?
This sounds very Phoenician to me a little bit too, because I guess it's the same area, because you're talking about this passage, and that passage would usually include Carthage or Tunisia, the top of Africa, would include Sicily, which was like the actual bridge between Africa and the rest of Europe. And I guess Albania just gets kind of thrown into the mix because they're in the same region. So if you are a Phoenician or a Canaanite or someone that's traveling and you're sort of like in that mercantile class, eventually some people would make enough money and they'd be like, hey, I like the shore here. Let's pull off on this exit, honey. And they're like, hey, well, I like this. Let's stay here. But then when that happens and you set up that village and that kingdom of kingdoms, at a certain point, your the things that make you happy and the things that you want to continue building your kind of group and your last name, it's going to be different than these guys that are on the ships all the time sailing around. So that's usually where the splinter comes from. But if you dial it back far enough, it feels like they're all just Phoenicians and Canaanites.
Well, listen to this. So is Phoenician part of like the Mongol area? Or no?
No, the Phoenicians was essentially like the evolution of, to oversimplify, Sumerians and Babylonians, and then as they got closer to the Mediterranean, then that turns into the Minoans and the ancient Greeks and all of them.
Oh yeah, we have tons of that. I guess, what do you call them? Hieroglyphs, but I don't know if you call the same in, I guess, ancient Greece, but okay, so the whole history has literally spread from Mongolia, like it reached Mongolia. I even found out that even Japanese, the Japanese language is very similar to our language. Like I think the queen or the princess of Japanese or Japan, her name is Nakamaru something. I forgot her last name off the top of my head. I remember, but Nakamaru means she made us. And then I think her last name was tied to some goddess of the moon, or I'm not sure. So I'm like, holy fucking shit. I can like literally translate the Japanese language, say it how we would pronounce it, and I would find the meaning to that word. Because this Japanese, I guess he was a samurai um, teacher or whatnot, and he fell upon our book, the Kanon Gajini, and he was reading through the words. And when he was reading how you would read English, he's like, "Why does this sound Japanese?" And he was like saying the words, and he got the translations, and he went on an interview in Albania, and he had this interview, and he found out that our language is very, very fucking similar. So it goes back to why we say the term "nona e juhave," which means the mother of all languages. And when you look at the language tree, you can see that Albania has its own branch right by the roots of the language tree, and it's just there by itself dangling. They're like, I don't know where this language came from, but I know it's pretty old. Well, it is. And I'm finding more and more that I dig. It's just there in plain sight. Like they say the Aryan race, but the Aryan race isn't a race of white people. The way we say it's not Aryan, it's Aryan. And Adi means gold. Yan means are. They are the golden ones. It's just like, it has nothing to do with the color of skin, because we all have the melanin, just different forms. And I say we're just different shades of orange when you look at the orange color spectrum. So I don't know. It's just blowing my mind that we could possibly be the key to unlocking a lot of hidden knowledge that isn't presented to us. I'm just theorizing. I don't know shit.
This still sounds very Phoenician to me, because even the links that you're making here are phonetic links, right? Like it sounds like this, and that's exactly what the Phoenician language was, and the phonetics. That's why we call it that. So that's interesting. I wonder if you could take just like an Albanian villager and a Japanese villager and stick them in a room, and like no context, would they eventually figure out each other's language, or are they too separate for that?
I have no idea. I wonder this all the time.
We could start a crowdfund campaign to basically just like pluck villagers from each respective countries.
We could make that happen. I don't know.
We'll put them up in a hotel, and we'll just put a camera on them and see what happens.
Do you know when I made this discovery about like, oh my God, my language is a root? So I was listening to this Muslim guy. I forgot, Mano. He is a Muslim guy who is a Quranist. Okay, he doesn't believe in hadiths, because the hadiths are the books that were written after Muhammad died, like 200 years after. So he doesn't believe.
Like a hipster.
Well, it's like like he breaks down the Quran through each letter, because each letter has a meaning to it. So instead of reading the word, he breaks down each letter and goes and finds the root word of what that letter actually means. So I was like, oh, interesting. Do you think you could find out what the color black means? And he's like, okay. And then the way our language is I guess, it's very descriptive. It just gives you a full like a whole poem of a word. It's crazy. So I was like, can you look at what black means? He's like, okay. So I was like, this is what it means. I was like, this is how we say it. We call it Z, like literally Z-I. And he's like, okay. So he looks for the word Z in how it would be spelled in the Semitic way. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, why is that exact word in here? Z. And it literally means like to put into the shadow, or to turn away from the light, or in a descriptive way, not meaning like a color black, but something not having source of light, or putting something in the shadow or in the darkness, or burying it. Like that's how they described black, in a descriptive, most like root kind of way. And I was like, wow, this is pretty fascinating. My language can do that.
Sin. That's kind of what like sin's supposed to mean, that it's not inherently bad. It's just the lack of good, right? Like the lack of God, or the lack of light, being in darkness.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you know a little bit about Albanian culture and American
Mhm.
culture. When did you come to America?
I came here when I was about 3 months old, and I was lucky, actually. Um, my dad came here first around 1985. Um, oh, can I just tell you the story of how my mom and dad met?
Yeah.
Okay, so my mom and dad did not know each other, did not meet each other until the day they got married.
This is an
Like
arranged marriage.
arranged marriage. Yeah, very arranged. And um, that was their first moment that they met was the day of their wedding day. And then they had their thing, and then they had me like in the belly. My
What do you
dad
mean
went
they had
over.
their thing? What do you mean? Can you get into detail?
They did did it like they did it on Discovery Channel.
Okay.
That's the nicest way I could say it right now. But yeah, so my dad came out here in 85. My mom was pregnant. She had me. My dad somehow got a visa for my mom, but wasn't able to get one for me. But they tried to push their luck anyway, because when you're under a certain age, I technically don't need my own passport. I could be stamped into my mother's passport as long as my picture's in there. I had my picture in there, but no visa. But they just like skimmed the passport without the visa. Like, oh, she's in there. Okay. Like they looked at my mom's. They said, okay, go. The plane's leaving. They put me on the fucking plane. I get into the United States and I'm at whatever security checkpoint my mom says. And she's like, how the hell did you get your daughter on the plane? They're like, I don't know. They just said, okay, go ahead. And I went. Why did I need a visa for her? She played stupid. She's like, yeah, you need a visa. And I guess like 14 hours later, a cousin of my dad's was here and she came and did her magic and yeah, gave us our
Did he
visa.
bring a spiked bat and a chainsaw with him?
Nah.
Okay.
No need for that. No. What is a fucking
I got your visa right here.
You know,
Hey.
Albanians wish they could fucking take down the American government when it came down to it, but nah, they don't know what the government is here. They think it's all like American dream, like they live like kings and queens, and like, no, we fucking bust our asses out here. And when they come out here, they're like, holy shit, you guys work a lot. I'm like, yeah, because they don't work much out there. They work till like 3, maybe 2. And then after that, everyone's out in the cafes, maybe work 5 hours a day, maybe 3 times a week, out in the cafes with their friends, drinking coffee, cigarettes, talking, and they just enjoy each other's company. It's like a different life out
What's
there.
keeping you from moving back to Albania?
My trauma with Albanian people. Yeah, that I'm gonna be real. Like
Albanians, like you love Albania.
Well, not
just
all
not the
Albanians.
Albanian.
The Albanians that I grew up with, that's what I'm saying. It's like 2 types of Albanians. The ones that are like hardcore Albanian and keep the Albanian spirit strong, but it's like mixed with like Muslim like culture as well. It's like very, oh, you're Muslim. Oh, you're Albanian. I'm like, I could give 2 fucks, honestly. Like, I'm just me. I'm trying to live. Like, what the fuck? I was like the black sheep. I was the one questioning it all. I was the one like going through people's closets, discovering all kinds of things. I was like fucking
What were you finding in people's closets?
all kinds of shit. Like all kinds of shit. I can't talk about it right now, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what, man. I learned a lot just from
I'm just going to
people's
assume
closets.
bodies. If you can't talk about, I'm going to assume you found a dead body. at some point.
Not bodies, not bodies. I learned a lot of shit about life looking through people's closets. I did not have to travel far and wide to see how the world worked. Because a lot of people hid their world in their closets. That's why the whole term coming out of the closet.
And shout out Paranoid 15 to get 15% off the God Pill Angel cleaning service. The downside is that she will go through your closet and maybe take something. It's hard
I
to tell.
swear, I started when I was 5. I started cooking when I was 5. I mean, I was watching kids when I was 5. I was doing it all when I was 5. Not all, but like, I was doing a lot when I was 5.
So if someone were to come from, let's say that someone's, some 13-year-old girl or 15-year-old girl is going to be moving over to America and starting high school for the first time in Albania, what are the things that they should drop about Albanian culture? Like forget it, leave it at home. And what kind of things should they keep and bring with them and say, don't let America take this from you?
Like, what do you mean? Like what we do here in America to bring over there and don't bring it over there?
No, like so, like the opposite. So, like, if there's some kind of a tradition or a cultural thing that, in retrospect, you think is like something that doesn't belong in America, it doesn't help the person at all.
Yes.
What are those things?
Arranged marriages or arranged engagements, because I kind of went through that myself, and it is not a cool experience. Think about it this way, okay? You're on a scale, right? You're at 0, and then all of a sudden you find out you're gonna be with someone and you don't know them and you don't like them, so you're at like -50 automatically. So like no matter what this person like does, like you just don't like him. You don't like his mind, how it works. He's a misogynist. He didn't want you to wear jeans. He wanted you to walk with your head down. Why are people looking at you? Did he give you his number? Why did you give him his number? What like insanely fucking jealous. Like, and that I was like thankful for that experience, like that entire experience, being arranged, engaged, losing my virginity to him, like ending it with him the way I ended it with him. I was like, fuck this motherfucking fucker. And
Did you kill him?
It. No, I just like literally told him, I don't understand why you're not getting that. I do not fucking love you. I do not care for you. Whenever you come to my house and you're there and I call you, it's because they made me call you. I never wanted you there. Like I was never like, hey, let me call so-and-so because I want him here or because I miss him. No. At one point it did get sweet.
Did they pay for you? Like, did someone buy you?
No. It wasn't that extreme. Like it was just normal.
A cultural arranged marriage.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, it's so fucking.
But wasn't there
stupid.
something in it for like your parents and their parents?
No, it was just like, oh, okay. This is how fucking happened. This is so weird. This is how our culture runs sometimes.
They lost the bet. Someone bet on the bills.
My dad's cousin's wife worked at a bakery with a bunch of Albanian women. And this Albanian lady is like, oh, my husband's nephew is here in America and he's on his visa and he's looking for a really nice girl. That's alarm number 1. He's on his visa. He's not really looking for a serious girl. He's looking to get his papers. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, my name comes up. Oh, I know this girl. She knows how to cook. She knows how to clean. She's a virgin. She's a good girl. She's respectful. I mean, I was the ultimate conditioned Albanian girl. Like lucky, whatever man got me back then, like to keep me, they would have been lucky. Now I'm like a fighter. Like I know what is right and what is wrong and like how a woman needs to be respected and treated. And it was not that. But yeah, that's how it started. He saw a picture of me. He was like, oh, yeah, she's cute. So I literally went on a 30-minute date with him at a cafe, and it was an interview. Have you ever kissed anybody? No. Have you been to a club? No. Have you had a boyfriend? No. What kind of friends do you have? I only have a couple. What are they? Are they Albanian? Like, if they weren't Albanian, that's a red flag. Like, what are you doing with American girls? Like, racist mentality. It's crazy. What else?
What would be the concept if you were like, oh yeah, I only hang out with white girls exclusively? What's the connotation there?
It's like, what do you do? Because white girls are not like Albanian girls, so everything you're saying to me is a fucking lie.
How are they different though? Like what would be going through his mind if he's thinking that
like Americans sleeping around?
You're getting drunk and you're being promiscuous.
Getting drunk, partying. I'd never been to a club at that point, and I was 19. I've never been to a club. I didn't do drugs. I wasn't any of that. Like I was such a goody. Like, oh my God, like conditioned to the T. But a lot went into that anyway.
So could you just say like, nope, not interested, and that would have been the end of it? Or was it like a predetermined?
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. So we're on this date. He asked me these questions. I'm like, oh, I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to be this guy. Like, I'm just going to get this over with. He was 27. I was 19. Great family. He came from a great family. Him, I don't know what came over him. I don't know what kind, like, I don't know if I did a spell on him accidentally that I didn't know. I don't know, maybe I didn't see myself and I didn't know how pretty I was maybe to him. I don't know. I couldn't understand his level of fucking jealousy. It was insane. He burned me with cigarettes for stupidity. Like he was nuts, like nuts.
And this is all on the first date? Did you just start putting the cigarettes out on your arm?
No. This was after. Like things got sweet with him at one point, whatever. But let me get to the part where it got weird. So we have our date. He sends me home. My dad goes outside to talk to him. My dad's out there for 3 hours, longer than me. It's like they had a bond, but I don't blame my dad either. Like my dad went through a growing process. I don't blame anything on anyone for any of this. Like I am glad for this. Like this is great teaching. So, he comes back home and his friends are there. Like they were like family friends, him and his wife. And we're cool. Like I'm cool with them too. Like great conversation. Always with adults in conversation. I have a lot of wisdom there. So he comes in, he's like, oh, ukri, like it's done. I'm like, what's done? And my mom's friend's eyes are like glued to me. Like, what? Like, what? Oh yeah. In 2 weeks, the engagement is set up. You're going to get engaged. Da-da-da. I'm like, did you even ask me? I'm like, you didn't even ask me how it went. It was half an hour. Like, I don't like this guy. All the questions that he asked were not the questions that I would want someone to ask about me. He was looking at me like a fucking baby machine, a baby making machine. Not like, do you have anything up here? Like, he was looking at how I can have a slave at home. The fuck yeah, I could cook and clean. Do you think I'm gonna fucking cook and clean for you? Absolutely not. You're not deserving of that. Like a king is deserving of that. So
what's going through your mind at that point? Are you thinking like punch everyone?
I'm thinking, I was like, oh, I'm not getting fucking engaged to him. And they're like, oh, we did it. When you're a conditioned kid, you don't know what you're doing. You're still a kid. I was 19. I was a kid. I didn't have no experience on anything. And I'm just like, well, if my parents did it, maybe I could do it. Maybe he's not a bad guy. Maybe I'm just looking at it different. Yeah, I went to school here. Yeah, I had experiences in school, like with getting in trouble and being with friends and whatnot. But that's totally different when it's coming to like a life choice that you're about to make. So I went along with it. I was like, okay. And that's on me. I could have like fought for that. That was on me. It was like this fucking spell came over me. Like I was a different person. And I wonder to this day, like, did he do a spell on me? Because our people are known for this shit. All they need is a fucking piece of hair and it's a wrap. Like legit.
What would you do?
A fucking wrap.
If you were trying to do that to someone and you had the piece of hair, what is the full process?
Okay. So if you have a thing for somebody, and people do this, but don't do it because it bites you fucking tenfold. Like don't do it.
Educational purposes only.
Like don't do it. Like you really have to know, like in the villages out there back home, they know what they're doing. And I know people, when I seen their husbands and I seen her, and then like I ask and she's like, oh yeah, I went to this person, so-and-so, and they gave me this and this. And that's how I got my husband. Like they'll tell you the story of how they got their husband through magic. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So, okay. A hair. All you need is a piece of hair. You go to they call them, what are they? A shake. I think a shake. Yes, it's called a shake. You send them to you go to the shake and you say, hey, listen, I'm having bad luck. I love this guy, but he doesn't love me anymore. What do I do? And you're sobbing your story, but not thinking of the consequences at all. Because maybe the guy doesn't fucking like you, maybe. You don't want to think about that for a second. So you go to the fucking shake and they'll write in square. What were you guys talking about on your podcast? The square sigils or square magic on squares?
Magic squares?
Yeah, the magic squares. So they'll make the magic square sheet. Use the Quran. So they say they'll use the Quran, but they'll use verses of the Quran and change wording in it. And instead of calling upon God, they'll call upon jinns or genies. Okay. So they'll grab the piece of hair, I guess, wrap it in whatever, not just the hair, but the sheikh will say, grab all these materials. Okay. So you need a hair, you need eggs, you need nails, you need a lock, you need a key, you need chicken eggs, chicken bones, or dirt from the graveyard, or murky waters no, is it murky waters? No. The waters where they wash dead people.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So that water where they wash dead people, they'll ask you for the fucking craziest items. The harder and deeper you go in this magic, the longer the magic will last.
I just have to ask because I was, I'm an American capitalist at heart. And I'm just imagining, what if you just set up shop? Like the lady that you go to see in the village, right? And she's like,
it's usually a guy.
Laundry list of like, you have to find a crocodile's tooth and the murky water of a dead person. But what if we opened up shop right next to her and it was like, get your voodoo kit, like we've already got the water for you, we've got the graveyard dirt, or do you have to personally get it for it to be magic?
No, you have to personally get it. They don't do that there because you're making a mockery out of it. It's like, you're not doing this like to sell shit, and they will fuck you up if you try to fucking do that.
This is where the chainsaws come out.
The jinn will fuck you up for playing with them. Like, this is not a profit thing like how you think. This is like serious fucking magic. So they won't play with people like that. And if you see that, then I would question whether or not that person's in it for the good, because the whole idea of jinn to begin with is a whole rabbit hole on its own, because I've seen some shit. And usually these beings are, I don't know how to explain it, but they're not normal beings. They're weird as fuck. But they do submit to God, which is an interesting perspective. I've seen like jinn come through people in, there's tons of videos I can show you later on, but jinns coming through people and communicating. And all these beings are like, I wouldn't say human, they're serpent like. They're very serpent.
Reptilians right now?
I would say that they're very like, when they speak, it's very like weird, like, and they're not necessarily evil. They're very truthful in the sense when you demand the truth from them, you can control these beings. I've seen these imams like literally conjure them out of the person to like come face forward and literally pull these jinn out. And it's just like a vessel that they can control because someone sent them. Like literally someone sent them. And the major way that they send a jinn to people is through Mercury, which is very fucking interesting. And they talk about this in the villages in back home. Like at night when the moon is out, and they're in the field and they're just having their coffee, talking. All of a sudden, you'll see these glowing streaks of like liquid running through the field. Like, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, yeah, Jiva. I'm like, what the fuck is Jiva? They're like, oh, it's Mercury. I'm like, so how do you see Mercury at night? Oh, when the moon comes out, like you can see it, like it travels. I'm like, but how is it traveling? And then they tell me that, oh, they send jinn through the Mercury to send to people so they can, it'll literally soak into the person's skin. That's how heavy this magic is. And people don't fucking know how serious this fucking shit is.
What does that mean?
The mercury of it all?
Skin.
Well, yeah,
we're talking about the planet Mercury, not the substance Mercury.
No, right? The substance Mercury.
Oh, like Quicksilver.
Yeah, like literal fucking Mercury. They use Mercury as a vessel to send jinn to people. And women in the fucking villages can see the jinn flying through the fields in the grass, shining through the moonlight. Like as it hits it, you can see the Jiva, they call it. That's what they call Mercury, Jiva, like passing through the fields. And you're like, oh my God. They'll say it and they'll say a prayer like, oh my God, keep that away from me. Like, oh, keep that away from me. But
it's highly toxic.
That too. Yes, that too. But it's a thing that they use and it's heavily used. And that's why I say don't fucking vaccinate your children, y'all. Don't do it.
You're putting gin in them.
You're putting black magic in you. You're putting aluminum. You're putting formaldehyde. You're putting fucking cells of species, eggs of species. I mean, serpents, cows, swine, dogs, you name it. They're putting it in there.
It sounds like you're describing a Chinese buffet right now.
I'm telling you. And then mix that up, mix that, and drink it. Will you fucking drink that, Thomas? Will you drink that?
I mean, if we're on vacation in China and there's a wet market nearby and everyone seems to be enjoying it, maybe.
Oh my God.
Come with Szechuan sauce, because then maybe.
Never. But yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever had an American hot dog before?
Yes, I have.
I mean, that's nothing to be too proud of.
I know.
That's all like.
But you see, that's why I don't eat them anymore, and I don't get vaccinated. Did I take the jibbity jab? No. And ever since
if someone had to force you right now, either you're going to eat 50 hot dogs, or you're just going to take one tiny little vaccination.
I'll eat the fucking 50 hot dogs. I don't care.
You almost sound excited about it.
Yes, I'll gladly do it with excitement. I am not putting shit in my body anymore. And I will not. If anyone out there who has gotten the vaccine and you're sleeping around with people, guess what? You're vaccinated. Just saying. So stay celibate out there. If you are unvaccinated, stay celibate until you find someone who isn't vaccinated and who hasn't been sleeping around. So, whoa, that's a percentage that just drops to like that small.
Just playing devil's advocate, but if there's any government agents out there that want more people to get vaccinated, you basically just get a lot of hot bodies to get the vaccination, and then let them lower their standards and start sleeping around with a bunch of like 4s, 5s, and 6s.
Literally,
and bam, spike protein shedding. Now everyone gets vaccinated. Everyone wins.
Absolutely. Not me though. I'll be the ultimate winner. I'll be the last man standing. Fuck that. I have great self-control. Been 2 years celibate. I love it. I'm doing a lot of self-love in that department. So if women are having like a hard time dating, I think the best thing that I've ever done for myself is stay single for a long time. I've been single for like 8 years now. And it's a great way to like point out what you're really looking for. But this ain't a dating, I'm just saying.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel, or like a checklist, or like when you'll be done with it, or you're just riding it out to just see how long it goes?
Like what, in the sense of like dating or
just being celibate? Is there like a
till I find the person, till I find my king, like the one. And I don't want to say that I want to get married to that person, because I feel like marriage is a whole spell in itself. Like it kills something in the relationship between two people that I don't like. So I will say that is it's going to be my husband, not through paper though. Like it's going to be through here. My heart, when it's there, it only sees that, and that's it. Besa, baby.
the king and queen dynamic that you were describing before, do you think that comes from the arranged marriage dynamic, and you can separate those two things? Or are they two completely different things?
Well, it's the idea is like, I'm not here to be in competition with you. I'm here to raise you up, especially when you need it. And you're here to raise me up, especially when I need it. Let's talk. What's going on with this situation? What's going on with this situation? Okay, listening. It's like when you see these films with the king and the queen, they have their moments and they're so sweet in their bedroom, just talking shit out. And the man's going through whatever he's going through, and the woman is there. It's like, okay, here's what we can do. It's like a guide. Like, you can be each other's guides through life instead of being each other's fucking competition and enemies and hating each other and saying the ugly things towards each other. And that's all I fucking see. And I'm like, I will never settle for that. And I will be a fucking cat lady till the day I die. I'm not going to do that. Not to anyone and not to myself. So once I start seeing that behavior, that's when I question, like, I'm not your enemy. Like, why are you talking to me like one? you know? So that's what king and queen is. It's like to elevate each other as much as possible, to fucking create your kingdom, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure a man doesn't want to see his wife fucking cooking and cleaning all the time. So, like, hey, babe, I'm really getting tired. Like, you both work at getting fucking maids so you can live like kings and queens. Hire a fucking cook so they can get nice meals so you can be treated like a king and queen so you don't have that stress upon each other. Where
Doesn't that mean the cook doesn't get to be a king or a queen, though?
that's the life we live, you know? It is what it is. You know, so if you can reach that level of success of creating a kingdom for each other, not just like, oh, my husband is going to do it all. What? You're a team. You're a team. If you're one of the girls who are going for money, I get it. I get what you're doing. But are you going to be happy? I doubt it. I really doubt it. Like, I'm speaking real, like the money getters, grab the bag, like success. He has to have the car, the house. Have fun. I've had millionaires wanting to marry me, ask my hand in marriage, and just what they were spewing out of their mouths. I was like, oh my God, fuck you and your money. Like, I don't need money for that. I can get money with who I need to be with in life to be happy. If we can both be happy together, the money will just flow, baby. Like, that's how it works. If you're not flowing together, the money ain't going to flow. Right?
Are we talking about starting our own mafia? Is that what we're talking about right now?
Bro, let's fucking start a mafia. Let's do it. The mafia of good guys, man.
What do you think should be the actual initiation process for the secret society of good guys?
What I think it should be?
Let's say we remove it from being a podcast that's on, Friday nights, whatever. It's an actual secret society of good guys. No one's heard of it before. It doesn't need to be YouTube friendly or anything. Like, what would the initiation ritual be to prove that you are worthy to be in the secret society of good guys?
I don't know. That's a fucking good question. See, my mind went back to, like, I don't know why I got a picture of this in my head. It was so weird.
Sacrifice your baby.
No. Actually, it's different. Like, sitting, how people used to sit back home in the villages, like they had these like little cushion kind of things all around the wall, and everyone sat around the wall and they had a table full of food and coffee and tea. And then they had their little guitars called the chiftelis, and they started breaking out in song and singing like songs of like, saving the world and warriors this, and we're going to uncover this, and like, just like have a good time with your fucking people. That I think that's sing songs of like what we're going to do, or poems, or fucking spew things of how to make this world a better place. And that's it.
I feel like we need a better vetting process, though.
I don't know what they do in initiation.
You usually need to tempt somebody with some like dangle the $1 million in front of them, dangle the arranged marriage to whoever their crush is. Like, you have to dangle these carrots to see if they would sell out the good guys in order to get the carrot.
So what would you do? What do you think we should do?
I would never start a club, and I would never let anyone be in my club. That's what I would do. And I would never join a club that would have me, except for the secret society good guys. You guys are the exception.
Why? You're fucking awesome. Why?
I just don't. I feel like it's prison rules. I feel like then all of a sudden you owe somebody something, and that's the word. That's my personal hell. That's my arranged marriage where I'm like -50 at someone off the bat. All of a sudden I'm in this dynamic where like I owe you something, or I'm on the clock, or I have to deliver a thing for you. Yeah. So basically having a job, just having a job in general. Yeah. That's why I've just been completely scarred from going through school and education and the job system.
Well, I mean,
those are clubs. To me, those are like the worst clubs ever.
What is our initiation?
You got to get jumped in or sexed in is the current.
Oh yeah,
current way.
I mean, those are not bad either. One or the other. One gives you pain, one is pleasure. As above, so below. Dark and light. I mean, that fucking makes sense. Which one would you like?
The rule is that whatever you pick on the way in, you got to pick the other one on the way out. So you got to plan
Oh, I'd probably like get beat up first and then leave happy. Like, oh fuck. Okay, let's get this over with, and then get excited for the last part.
All right, time is flying by. I don't want to miss my favorite segment. And everyone's gonna want to know if Layla has ever done. Have you ever done PCP before?
PCP? No.
Would you do PCP?
I don't even know what that is exactly. PCP.
Let's do some PCP right now.
Hey, conspiracy buffs, I double dare you to take some PCP, the Paranormal Conspiracy Probe. On your marks, get set, and go!
PCP is also like a very like a psychedelic, I think. I'm not sure exactly what it gets classified as. I don't even know what it stands for off the top of my head. Phenylalkyline.
How do you do it?
Well, there's actually some under your chair right now. If you take a look, there's a little pipe and there's a lighter.
Where?
It's right under your chair. I had Janie plan it in here.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what?
These are the rules. I'm just gonna mention a conspiracy theory of some kind, and you're just gonna give it a rating from 0 to 10. So if I say
and I'll
dinosaurs,
tell you if I don't know it, I don't know it.
So I'm gonna say dinosaurs.
Okay.
From 0 to 10, how much do you believe in dinosaurs?
They're -50.
How about fire-breathing flying dragons?
A 5, 7, a 7.
What about aliens? Little gray aliens.
I'm at 5 in between.
What about Bigfoot?
Fuck. 7.
What about fairies?
Fuck. 5.
What about angels?
10. I'm 1.
What about demons?
10.
What do you think that a person summoning a demon, like Layla goes out and wants to summon a demon in the middle of the woods?
I know someone 10? Who did. Yeah, 10. Yeah. Oh, I know someone. Like legit.
What do you think about Nephilim today? Modern day Nephilim.
Modern day Nephilim. What do I think about it? Like how they view the Nephilim,
so
or how
0 to 10, there's a Nephilim somewhere on the planet Earth right now.
10.
Official story of 9/11.
Fucking 0. Like 0.
Official. If I said official story of anything, is it just going to be 0 no matter what I say?
Probably.
Oklahoma
if
City,
it was like
Waco, Ruby Ridge.
Yeah, if it was all on the TV. Listen. This is how I see it now. And think about this. Your magic square theory with Juan and Donna and all of that. Think about this. Everything in a fucking square. Remember the movie They Live? Lifted his glasses. What was shown? Everything in the fucking square had a message. Everything in the fucking square is the magic. This TV, the mirror, everything, the doorways that we pass, the fucking square caps that we wear when we graduate. That's a whole sigil in itself. You are in that square, in that dimension. Like,
are you voguing out right now?
I'm telling you, like, yeah, vogue.
That's also a square. That's also putting yourself inside of a square.
It is like everything literally in the square. That's why that whole symbol with the triangle is so important to them. Why is it important? Why is it a secret? Why is it so bad? But why isn't the square not a bad symbol? But it's fucking everywhere. Through the comic books, through the film on a fucking movie reel. Like, that is the answer. They tell you, put the glasses on, you see it. It's in every square. And now what's the power behind the circle? Lights, maybe? That's mainly where I see circles, is through the lights. Light bulbs, light fixtures, they're all circles. Why aren't they making them mainly squares? There's a magic to that. Everything is like done to a fucking degree of magic through writing, through speaking, through what we see, through the programming. It's all scripted.
Are there any good shapes, or are squares good or bad?
I
or
think
is
the
it just how you use
triangle.
it?
I think the triangle is actually a really, really good shape. I think it's the most powerful shape. I think I don't want to say that the square is evil. I will say that the square has powers that we don't understand.
We just say all my homies don't fuck with squares. If you want to be in the squad, you can't. You can't fuck with
L7,
squares.
baby. L7. L7. So yeah,
Is
that's
there,
what.
I want to. Is there any cool topics that we didn't get to cover this time that we should talk about next time that I should have pried into?
No, I like going with the flow. I don't like picking a topic and like overanalyzing it. I like to talk about what we talk about as not this author said this and this author said that. I get their authors. I get a lot of people worship these authors, but those authors were us at one point in time.
Layla will wipe her ass with your pages and your
Literally,
PhD.
like this, like that. All right. I'm not playing here. But for real, though, like we are those people back in the day who had these thoughts, who weren't talking through people on podcasts, but we're saying these things. And I don't want to pick up a book and say, hey, so and so said this and da da da. I'm going to have that natural thought that's going to come with more information than that person in the past. I'm pretty sure. So that's why I like reading just to know information. But then I feel like I'm just going to be a copycat. I don't want to be that. I like genuinely am like refusing to like pick up books now. I'm genuinely refusing to turn on the TV and feed my mind with whatever ideas they want me to be like enveloped in, when I can be so enveloped with myself and my thoughts and my gnosis and my knowing that I know I will reach certain answers. If you think of yourself as an antenna, and these ideas are on certain dials of a frequency, like on a radio, and you have your idea of an invention, because I had ideas that I wanted to do, but I've seen someone else come up with the idea maybe like 2 months after. That's that idea. If you're in that place of gnosis and flow and meditation, and you hit a certain dial or frequency or tone, you're that antenna and the receiver that's going to receive that information. You will be that lucky one to, whoop, it's mine this time. And if you don't do anything about it, shklup, it's going to go back out there. And the next person who reaches that frequency or level will have that idea. So
I like that theory. I've heard this one before too, where it's like if someone hadn't jumped on a certain idea, it's like it's the idea's idea. Like it's this living thing.
Yes.
And it, kind of like, it jumps down, and then if that person can't handle it or they don't want to pursue it, it just goes to the next person. So it's almost like certain ideas were meant to happen at certain points, and the people that actually quote unquote come up with them, they're just this vehicle. They're just like a glove that somebody put on, and then the glove thinks that it did all the work.
Well, people say, ask God, but I like to think of these like truth to be a deity, or idea to be a thing, because they are a thing. They are a being. It's a being, like it has its own entity, its own energy, its own structure of what it is. So for me, I like to think of it as like truth, asking truth for truth, asking idea for the idea, asking hope for hope. That's how I like to look at it, is like go to the source of what you're asking for to get the source. So if I want the truth, let me ask truth. Hey, truth, man, like what the fuck? Can you just show me the answer? Okay. Here, because you called upon me.
Let me see your test real quick. Lean over a little bit so I can get a peek at answer number 7. A B or a C?
You see, so yeah, that's me. I'm nuts, y'all. I'm nuts.
I don't think it's that nuts yet. I've heard crazier things on Secret Society Good Guys. Shout out, go and watch us talk for shit like 4 hours at a time.
Yeah,
midnight to 4 a.m. We do have fun.
Yeah, I love it. And I think we're going to start something soon, but I don't want to talk about it yet.
Yeah, we're not. We have to figure out the initiation ritual before we discuss anything else.
Yeah.
And I just had a parting thought, suggestion, observation, but you like analogies too, I see. So in addition to the analogy of the antenna, right? You were talking about cooking before, and that you're a good chef. So I
Yes,
almost think in the same way that you said, like, you don't want to consume media and you don't want to read certain books because then it feels like you're just going to be regurgitating other people's ideas. I feel the exact same way, and I try to temper my media input, but at the same time, the an analogy that's been helping me is that imagine that you're like a chef in a kitchen, right? Like you could go and grab that microwave dinner where everything, like all the ingredients are there, but all you do is pop it in the microwave and heat it up and give it to someone. And there are people that'll be like, I made this, like plate it and make it look all fancy.
yeah,
But like they didn't do anything other than just put it in the microwave and hit
yeah,
start and then plate it, right?
yeah,
But if you, and let's say you really like whatever that Hungry Man Jack Salisbury steak dinner, maybe you love that, but you could have also broken that down, figured out the components, look at the back of the box, right? You look at the ingredients and then make your own, and then you can put your own little twists on it. And that's the opportunity. And it's the same thing as that you're making Salisbury steak both nights, but one of them was like your version and another one was just whatever came off the shelf. And I think there is a
yeah.
lot of people that just read the latest book or documentary or whatever, and they just heat it up in the microwave and serve it to you and then pretend like they made it because they replated it for you.
And here's the thing with cooking too. If you're like a really good cook, you don't go by a recipe. You don't pick up a book and go to the author. You cook from a place of love. You cook from a place of meditation. Like literally when I cook, the whole world disappears. Like legit. It's like something shifts and everything kind of like zhoof. Time slows down and I'm in that. And that is the most witchy. I don't care what you like. People was like, oh, that's blasphemy to even say that. No, you're a witch. If you cook, you're a fucking witch. Like 100%, you're a witch. Like the ingredients, your cauldron, your intuition, your thoughts and emotion and feeling is going into the food.
You don't have to put period blood in there to be a witch?
Oh, hell no. That's called dark witch magic. That's like dark shit.
What's white witch magic? What do they put in it?
That's what it is. Just love.
Salt. Just love. A little bit of salt and turmeric.
A little salt, a little garlic, a little oregano, a little this, a little that, and just stir the pot. And literally when I tell my ingredients, I love you and thank you, fucking, you want to lick the plate clean. Like there's something to it. There's this movie called Simply Irresistible, I think it's called. And it's about this girl who did not know how to fucking cook at all. Like she tried her best. And this magical guy or like angel came and like gave her these crabs. Such symbology. Like that's so symbolic with the crab. And this magic crab.
Are we talking about seafood crabs?
Yeah, like a crab. I think it was a blue crab. It was a blue crab.
It could have been a Watcher Nephilim situation and he gave her like celestial crabs.
It could have been a celestial crab, but the fact that it was blue, like that blue blood and the blue crab blood being like healing or something, that's kind of interesting too. But she did not know how to cook. And all of a sudden, since that angel man being came, all of a sudden, everything that she felt when she cooked went into the food, and everyone who ate that food had that exact emotion. So if she was feeling love or passion, everyone was having an orgasm while they were eating her food. If she was sad and crying, everyone was over there sobbing and crying. Like it blew my mind, and it just showed me how beautiful. I saw this years ago, but how beautiful cooking and magical cooking is, because it is. It's so magic.
This might sound silly, but I mean this is a real question. Yeah. Do you think cannibals can cook with love?
Yeah. I mean, they love what they're doing. Do you think
crack dealers can make crack with love?
Yeah. They're loving their thing. There might be a difference
in the high between the crack dealer that's like stirring up the
all of it is intention
in his heart versus love in his heart.
Yeah, or it's like how some people kiss a bullet before they put the bullet in the gun. It's like, I love you.
There's an Albanian coming right back out.
There you go. I swear. That's such a
what
fucking.
The hell are you talking about?
Whoa, Layla. But yeah, man, we could have done a cup reading. I could have gotten extra witchy on the show, but we'll do it another time.
Do you have to prepare for a cup reading, or can you do one?
Juan was like, shout out Juan. He's like, what the fuck is that dirty cup? I'm just like, it's not fucking dirty, bro. It's coffee grinds, okay? So, you know,
Juan only drinks freeze-dried Folgers, the kind that's got like the crystals, and you just stir it into hot water.
That cheap shit.
He doesn't understand.
Yeah, he don't understand that that's low quality coffee, my friend. Come drink.
I don't do coffee. But I know we talk, and I do tea though, and I do loose leaf tea, and I do the kind of tea that like when you use it, it doesn't just stay like little tiny chunks of dust, right? It like swells up and it turns into a whole ass leaf.
Yep.
Sometimes you can tell how
Russian
good the tea is based on that.
Is it like Russian tea?
I have a special blend. I mix.
I love Russian tea.
I mix milky oolong with a little bit of chai with goji berries, and then I've got just like a standard apricot tea mix. But I mix all four of those together, and I've got like vats of it in my fridge. I love it.
Oh, hell yeah, I love tea. I like Russian tea.
With like some tea and coffee grinds products. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be great. And then I could teach you guys how to fucking read your own fortunes. Well, it's not like fortune, but it's like, dude, guys, this told me when I went overseas and this girl read my cup, this told me that something was going to happen on a certain day at a certain time. And it happened on a certain day at a certain time, and it was like a bad thing. And she's like, please, warning me, please be careful. Something is about to fucking destroy your life. I don't know what it is, but it's going to happen on the 9th or the 9th day, the 9th month, the 9th year. On the 9th, my brother was literally shot, like literally shot overseas. And
you saw that in a coffee cup?
Yeah, like a couple of days prior.
Was it specific enough that you could have like done a warning, or it's just a vague thing?
I don't know, because as a reader, you're not supposed to pinpoint names or situations to put fear or paranoia in a person's head. It's just like, hey, something's gonna happen, so just be careful. I'm not sure what it is, because you can't like instill something in somebody and give them that fear. Or
can you just be like, don't leave the house on Wednesday?
Just like, be careful, watch, just keep everybody around, make sure you keep an eye on everybody. They'll throw like little ideas of what to do, but they're not going to be like, oh, your brother's going to die by blah, 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 blah. No, they're not going to do that. That's just going to fucking make you like stay in your house and like never leave. Like, I would never want to live like that.
Do you think that would work with Folgers coffee, or do you need special coffee for it to work?
You need the grinds. So how we drink this is like literally all this is fucking coffee grinds, and you'll be drinking coffee grinds, but most of it will settle to the bottom. Then and then turn it upside down, and then these figures will form.
Do you have to drink it for it to work, or can you just make the coffee and pour it out?
It's a whole intention thing. Like when I drink my coffee, I was drinking for love. Like, hey, love. When are you coming? When is it going to happen? Like little thoughts in my head. And then I'll have that intention with that. And then
you think God's ever like, I sent you that millionaire, Layla. What the hell else do you want?
Well, he did. And I said no, because he was Albanian, but he was Catholic, and I wasn't allowed to be with him because he was Catholic and I was Muslim, because I practiced it so much. I don't practice my religion at all. I'm not a religious person at all. I'm agape, fatherly love of me and me for my father.
Are Catholics back on the menu? Is that what you're saying?
Everyone's on the menu. Besides Albanians at this point. Just Albanians. I'm not doing
Albanians are not on the menu?
Nope. No. I'm sorry. I can't do it. You guys bring the worst trauma out of me. It is ugly. It is disgusting. The way not all, you see, like I'm saying, you have the ones that were grown in the villages and have that village mentality. It's like, shut the fuck up, woman. And then you have your Albanians, who this guy that I really wanted to be with treated his wife. And I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, he's hugging his wife in front of everybody. Like, oh, to hug your wife in front of everyone is like, why would you do that in public? That's so disrespectful. That's for the bedroom. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, to not kiss your wife? What? Like no affection in front of like why? That's the type of culture I grew up around. And that was that. Like no one hugged anyone, no one kissed, no one showed affection. It was like, shut the fuck up, da, 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 da. You're stupid, you're pop, like very hardcore Albanian. And then you have the very civilized Albanian, and they're just loving people, treat their daughters like princesses. Like, oh, you go to school, don't worry about cooking and cleaning. Your mom's got this, or the maid's got this, or whatever. Like they have that queen king mentality, which I fucking love. And I threw away.
It just sucks for you if you end up being the maid and you don't get to be the queen.
I don't mind cooking and cleaning, not at all. But if there's like a balance, like for once in your life, like how do you think the sheets magically get clean? Can you just like change the sheets? Like, do you not think that someone's doing this? Does it magically happen? It's like small things like that. Like they don't think about, they expect. Yeah.
I don't know if you got this in your house, but in my house, I've got one of these weird dishwashers where if you just like leave a plate or a cup out just around the area of the kitchen, like it'll just magically get cleaned and get put away. I don't know what it is about the dishwasher in this house.
Yeah. It's a woman.
It's weird because it doesn't have, my girlfriend doesn't know how to use a dishwasher. So when she leaves cups and plates around, those don't get cleaned up. But if I leave them out, they get cleaned up. So I feel like I'm the only one that knows how to use the dishwasher is what I'm getting out of this.
Oh, so
it's very technical.
That's very
dishwasher.
Nice to have. That little trait to do with the dishes is very nice to have. Not all the time. Be like, hey babe, like I'll do the dishes this time. Like once out of like 3 weeks, you can do that. It's going to put a huge smile on your woman's face. But if you actually care about her, you're going to be like, man, I'm tired of my woman washing dishes and I don't fucking want to wash them. So I'm going to get a maid.
I'm going to call up this maid service and have that lady wash the dishes.
Fuck yeah. Well, not dishes, but like the whole cleaning of the house, because dishes is like, that's nothing.
As long as it's not Layla's service, because she goes right to the closet and just starts digging crap out of the closet.
Well, yeah. I'm like a Snoop. Snoop-a-doop. Oh, there's no more coffee.
Before we go, can you explain your name, Godpill Angel 33?
Okay, so Godpill Angel is not like a religious thing. I'm not saying that I'm God, but I am made of God matter. I am the vessel of God. So if I need to connect to God, I just take the God pill and know that God always got me. That's what the God pill is, to connect with yourself, to connect to God, to go within. So God is within. Like,
are we talking Rockefeller medicine here?
No, Layla medicine. Medicine.
What color is a God pill? Everyone likes to color their pills now. It's the gold pill.
It's gold. Yeah, it's gold.
Is there a gold pill meme yet? If not,
I think there's a gold pill account. Like she does her own thing, and it's a girl. Shout out Gold Pill. I think. I believe there is. But I saw her after I made God Pill. I think I'm the only God Pill on the media. So, hey.
But it sounds like Gold Pill, God Pills, like potato a little bit.
Potato, yeah. Yeah. Because it's a gold God Pill.
And what about the 33?
So 33, I'm an actual 33, not Mason, but I was born on March 3rd. So 33, actual, yeah.
Doesn't that make you a Mason automatically?
I mean, I don't care. I'll be a Mason.
Do you know any family members or anyone that's a Mason in Albania? I'm assuming that there is Masonic.
My dad's family, 100%. And I think my cousin was definitely, he was just killed. God rest his soul. He was just killed this past summer. He was 38, I think. Yeah. And he went to Greece with his boys, and one of the girls told one of his enemies where he was, and they came and gunned him down, like hundreds of bullets where he was staying. Just shot up the whole fucking place. Like just wiped them out.
Greece? They went to Greece and took him out?
Yeah. But it was his fault because he stayed at a place for too long, like one place for too long. He was part of the whole Kosovo army during the Kosovo War. So he's seen all that shit. And I guess he knew a lot of the truths about what was going on in the war too, with organ donating or organ harvesting and sex trafficking, because a lot of that was happening. A lot of the women and children were taking into that. So yeah, he went through a lot, and he was part of the whole reason why my brother passed away. So it's a lot of shit that went down. Yeah.
Let's definitely get into this in the closing minutes of the interview. We'll just we'll dive into it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, we're not talking bad about organ harvesting. Organ harvesting is one of the sponsors of our show, so we're definitely not telling people to not organ harvest. Just if you're going to do it through our show sponsors, and don't go to some random place in Greece and Albania.
No, don't do it. Isn't that the safe haven for pedophiles?
Well,
right?
they say Greece because that's where Tom Hanks went and did his dual citizenship. I think that's where the whole rumor came from.
Greece and Israel too.
And I just want to just pre-defend myself here. I'm not a Tom Hanks apologist, and I'm not a Tom Hanks simp. I just feel like there's at least a 1% chance that he has gotten a bad rap, and the finger pointed on him in particular because he took a bunch of weird, creepy photos of gloves and shoes, which rightfully so, super creepy.
Did you see the picture of him and some little kid and his face being in a cake and like lifting his head up and stuff?
Yeah, who doesn't eat a little kid's face every once in a while? As long as it's done with love, I don't see the problem with it.
I don't know.
If Hillary's having
creepy
her
vibes.
Well, if her people are making like a frazzle drip cake and they're taking a little child's face off and cooking it, as long as they're doing it with love, I feel like there's a noble cause behind something.
Oh yeah,
you don't want someone being grumpy.
So love is the answer. Love is the key to all.
You don't want someone spitting in your frazzle drip face. That's just horrible.
Oh my god, yeah, you don't want that.
A little bit of garlic saute, a little bit of love, a little dash of attention, but
man. I mean, the blood rituals that we do are real, like what they use blood for. It's just like, it's crazy. We are crazy people. I'm telling you, this is why I feel like we were the first of the first. Not like the entire human race, but like I truly feel like something's there. Something is there. The shit we know that we've held for so fucking long. Like so long. Like to the T, like from when we first started till this moment, even our language and the clothes we wear. Fucking sick.
So we're going to launch another new service pretty soon. It'll be Layla's Albanian tourism guide. She brings the chainsaws. She'll kiss the bullets for you in case you need to kiss some bullets.
Yes, I will. I'll also engrave with a needle because that's another form of magic, like engraving messages in gold and silver with needles and shit. That's
on bullets spell. or just any
bullets. Yeah, bullets, jewelry.
You ever heard of people dipping like this was a big one for like people fighting against Muslims, but they would dip bullets in like pig's blood. And they would claim that would send you right to hell. I as I understand, I've heard scholars that are experts in the Quran basically say like, no, there's nothing in there that says that you don't get to go
Not
do
in the
whatever
Quran.
your thing is.
That's why I want to get into a lot of history on this because Muslims are so separated and divided because of the fucking hadiths. And I don't care who comes for me. I'm going to say it loud and proud. The hadiths are shit. Okay.
You have to tell me who a hadith is.
Okay. So the hadiths are like the Talmud. Okay. They're like stories after Muhammad died, the prophet, saying that this is what Muhammad said, and this is what Muhammad said, and this is what Muhammad said. And the whole story of Muhammad, like, and the whole pedophile thing comes from those books. Like they didn't know shit about shit. How are you going to know history about Muhammad 200 years after he died? How are you coming up with these stories? And how are you saying, when you're giving a sermon on faith in the Quran, when the Quran says this is the book, don't listen to anything that people post after me after Muhammad, after he goes away, about him. It says it in there. Like, even the way that they translate the Quran, they're doing it wrong. Like the way for covering, they say like to cover your head. It's not to cover your head, it's to be modest. And it says to be modest from the neck down, to not like show everything off, not to cover your hair. And for me, that whole covering stems from, in more ancient practice, is that if a woman was scorned or shamed, they would veil her up and hide her from public. Like it was a shaming fucking ritual. So it's like, even the Muslim world, like actual Quranists, they call them Quranists. They're going down to the truth of everything. They're even finding out the Mecca that is in Mecca today is not even the actual first Mecca. If you really want to know, and if you really want to learn something, you will know that the actual first Mecca is where Solomon's temple is in I believe, Petra, where all the petrified stones are. And they actually know where the cave where Muhammad saw the fucking angel and the 3 daughters of Allah were engraved there, and they're still there today. Like it's all tied. That's the holy place. Petra, that place in Jordan, is the holy place. And they're lying to you about everything. Like literally. Do you know how much money they make off people in Mecca? One person, $10,000. One person every year times how many fucking people?
Too crowded for me. I'll never go unless they've got like a day when it's like it rains and then they close it, but then it stops raining and then you can get in and there's like less people. But I don't think they have things like that.
But they do rituals going around a thing, and they're supposed to be so against the rituals. They're going around a cube 7 times, or how many times? This is me criticizing my own religion because I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe I'll get it one day, but I just don't get it. Trampling each other to touch this thing that's literally shaped like a vagina. Like you're putting your hand in a vagina, and that black stone thing that they call. If you know symbology, you would know you're putting your hand in a vagina. Like they don't even know this. It's like y'all are divided in 70, how many sects? Okay. So super divided because of the hadiths. That's my argument with the hadiths. So it's like the Talmud, where they pervert the entirety of Judaism. You know, and people are like, oh, you hate. I do not hate Jewish people. I worked at a Jewish Montessori school. My hate is not towards anybody. My hate is towards these people who are running this script. And I think it stems from the 1666 Sabbatarian Sevi cult that started.
Which cult?
The Sabbatarian, Sabbatai Sevi, the 1666 foundation of the Zionist movement. Yeah, that's where it stems from. The whole Franken, I forgot his name.
The Frankfurt School?
Something like that. I forgot what my brain right now.
Critical theory comes from. It isn't that. I don't know nearly enough to speak.
I will do more. Next time we come on, we'll get into it, but we'll do a whole 1666, 666 kind of like sabotage.
We'll do some tea and coffee readings.
Yeah.
How long does it take to do a full coffee reading?
I don't know. I don't know a lot in it. Like maybe 5-10 minutes, not more than that.
Plus you got to drink the coffee, right? So what's that, like an hour plus?
No, 15 minutes.
Damn, are you drinking coffee in 15 minutes?
Dude, I chowed down on this Turkish coffee. It's so good, especially the way I make it. Yeah.
All right, we'll tell people where they can find you one last time.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram and TikTok on GodPillAngel33 or 333. You could also find me on X. You can find me on Telegram on Project Cheney, Weaving Spiders Welcome. Shout out Weaving Spiders as well. Where else? Facebook, but not under Godpill Angel, my real name. But I just post there for the sheep, like the sheepity sheep, vaccine.
I mean,
stuff.
Normies need a little bit of conspiracy theory too. They might not be ready for like the deep dives right off the bat, but they'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, I wake up who I can. If I'm planting seeds, eventually that seed will sprout, and it usually does. So, just here to try to tell people I don't know anything. And what I'm saying is just me saying it. I don't claim I know anything. I don't have that ego. I take everything in, listen to it, understand it. But if I see that I'm really being played, I'd be like, nah, that's not fucking real. And zero. Yeah.
Right on. And one more product to pitch you. Sorry, I'm dirty American capitalist, but you're in Florida too. And we have very liberal sort of like gun laws in Florida. I'm just wondering if we could start selling pre-kissed bullets from Layla. Like we'll just buy bullets, you kiss them, you sign it, and you resell that. And now like you've got a pre-Albanian.
Dude.
Are you like what do you call yourself? Like, are you a magician, a witch?
I'm an angel.
So
I think I'm the OA, bro. Like
that have been kissed by the OG Albanian angel, and we can sell them for 10x.
Well, Cheney and them used to call me Layla Gold Guns. So, because
we have to workshop some names. If anyone's got ideas on what we should call our new endeavor, where we sell kissed by a bullet kisses.
Yeah, and I'll do it in red lipstick too. Like you'll see the red lips on there.
I'm telling you, it would sell.
I will
Florida
do it.
Is a unique audience that would actually scoop these up. I might have to beep all of this out for YouTube. I don't even know if you're allowed to say the G word. But yeah, for anyone that's not on YouTube listening, hit us up. But let us know what kind of price will the market bear for bullets kissed by an Albanian angel.
I don't know. How much should we sell it for? I don't know. How much is my kiss worth?
What happens if you kiss a bullet first and then shoot it?
It's like it's like blowing the dice. It's like blowing the dice. Like, okay, Albanians are weird. I was talking with Cheney about this the other day, and I went on a whole flow with her. Like, you know how we spew words, and like when we say things, sometimes we breathe the words in. So it's like when we pray or we say something like to ward off a spirit, we're like breathing it in, like because we are the source, we're the vessel, and then breathing that intention out after you say, like breathe in the saying. So there's a whole thing to that people don't understand. That's a magic. So it's like that when you're doing that, like the breath even slows down when you're saying something. It just like let's say I'm reading this Paranoid American comic and graphic novels. Okay. Paranoid American graphic novels. Okay.
We'll go buy you some.
Get you some. We'll be like cosmic graphic novels. So it's like you're breathing the word in, and it's like
that would be so creepy to just go and like order your meal at the restaurant, and when they ask you what you want, you speak normally, but you breathe in as you're talking. You would freak people out left and right.
Hold on. Honey butter. Oh, wait, I can't do it. Can I have a honey butter chicken biscuit? Oh my God. But yeah, there's a whole thing. Like you soft speak to yourself in, and there's a whole magic to that, and like breathing it out. You know, the away.
It sounds like we've already got an agenda for the next one. We'll do some tea readings. We'll kiss some bullets.
I do good? Did I do good for my first? Yeah,
I think so.
Shit.
Let's check the chat. Does anyone in the chat?
Let's check.
No one's responding.
No one's. Oh damn. Well,
this is also pre-recorded and not live though, so it would kind of freak me out if someone did respond, because that would break the laws of time and physics.
But I will be in the chat.
Is premiering.
Yeah.
Everyone right now on the which side do I point on? Hold on. Right here. Start posting how badass this interview was. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
if Layla doesn't get 100% thumbs up, if there's even one person that gives a thumbs down, she'll never be invited back on the show ever again. So make sure we get all thumbs up.
That'll make me sad,
give a thumbs up, and we'll never talk again. This will be the last time.
I will forever be a hermit and never show my face again. Please give me the likes. No, stop.
Give the likes, smash the like button, and more importantly, more than that,
thanks for having me on. by the way. Like, I appreciate that. I'm actually honored and very like humbled that you even like considered having me on. So you're the first.
You got some awesome stories, and if anyone's not familiar, you have to tune in to Secret Society Good Guys Fridays at midnight Eastern, and
Yes.
we might be doing one for the normies that don't stay up until 4 a.m. on
Yes.
Friday nights.
Yes.
But more about that later.
Yes, I can't wait. Well, again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it.
And here's some commercials to go and buy stuff.
chosenone.com. Go visit chosenone.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosenone.com. Go visit chosenone.com. The chosen one. Yes, he is the chosen one. He's got his own comic, and now he's got his own song. 'Cause he's the chosen one. Yes, he is the chosen one. Go buy a copy at chosenone.com. chosenone.com. Go visit chosenone.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosenone.com. Go visit chosenone.com.